Now, we have equipment to find all kinds of bugs out there. We can locate hidden cameras, hidden recording devices, Wi-Fi-enabled spy equipment, GPS trackers, and the list goes on. And the equipment to do these types of bug sweeps, folks, is expensive to say the least. Over the years, we have spent tens of thousands of dollars on equipment and training, folks. I'm not kidding. There is a hefty price to get into the TSCM bug sweeping business if you're going to do it right, and that investment continues day in and day out. We just had 2 cables break on a major piece of equipment. Murphy's Law here, folks. We had 2 newish cables that we purchased about a year ago. Both of them went belly up this week while we're out conducting a sweep on a large residential home. Now, one of my mottos is hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Luckily for us, we had one of the old cables still in the box, and we were able to continue our work. Now, we have other redundancies in equipment and procedures, so we could have finished that sweep, but man, having that 3rd backup cable was a real time saver for us. Now, I have 2 new cables coming. This equipment is so specialized that you cannot get a cable for it from anyone else. The cables alone for some of these pieces of high-tech TSCM pieces of equipment, folks, can cost in the hundreds of dollars. So you see, there's always a continued investment in upgrades, maintenance, and just regular wear and tear on TSCM equipment. And you know what? That goes for all of your private investigator equipment too. But I digress. Let me get back on track here. How do people track other people using their phones? Great question indeed. Let's explore some of the answers right now. When I say track other people using their phones, I mean, how can someone track you using your own phone? Now, they may use their phone as well, but you could be being tracked right now because of stuff on your cell phone. This video is sponsored by OREP Insurance and Working PI Magazine. OREP is a leading provider of private investigator liability insurance. Visit orep.org for a quote today. I am going to go over what has been touted as some of the top pieces of spy apps, tracking apps, whatever you want to call them, and show you how easy it is for people to use your very own phone to track you. And it doesn't even have to be your phone. These types of tracking apps, spy apps, and other malicious software can be used on tablets and laptops too. Now, I am not covering these apps to try to help the software companies, or should I say the spy app companies, make money. And they do make a ton of money, folks. I looked at a ton of these apps, probably close to a dozen, and you know what I found? The average spy app has had over 1 million downloads. That is right, 1 million. And many of them sell ads, so when the person tracking you is watching you, they get ads displayed on their device, so the company makes a ton of money that way. And most have some sort of purchase option to get rid of the ads at an average of $4 a piece. So if only half of their users purchase the spy app, the company made over $2 million. And they entice purchases with the added features to help keep the software stealthy and hidden, so it may well be well beyond half that buy it. So let's take a quick look at some of these. Now again, I am not recommending anyone use any of these. In fact, use of these for nefarious purposes could very well violate laws such as federal wiretapping laws, not to mention infringement on a person's reasonable expectation of privacy. Heister Mobile touts themselves as the ultimate way to keep your children safe and employees productive. But what exactly does that mean? Well, if your spouse or your boss or your significant other or whomever is able to get this onto your phone, they can do the following. Capture and record copies of incoming and outgoing social media messages. Yep, it will grab your Facebook Messenger messages along with Instagram and even Snapchat. That's right. So if you are using something like Snapchat to not have a record of your regular texts, it grabs those too. Wait, it also gets an exact copy of every text that you send and receive, and it can view deleted texts on your phone. That's not all, folks. It has a keylogger that captures all keystrokes you use, and it is available for Android and iPhone alike. And this bad boy has an OTA, over-the-air link, so the app can be downloaded remotely for, as they put it, fast and easy monitoring. All this for one low one-time fee with free lifetime upgrades and no monthly fees. $2.99 for the basic and $6.99 for the pro version. And of course, most people are going to spend the $4 extra to get the pro version, so they can now monitor 11 social media accounts, set up geofencing, use the keylogger, and more. Okay, then there is DDI Utilities, which does a lot of the same stuff, but it can also look at iMessages, all the photos, old, new, and deleted ones, as well as videos, and has GPS tracking built in. And it touts itself as 100% undetectable and compatible with all iOS and Android devices. And here is one more. Phone Spectre. This one is one of the newest ones and can be used to spy on a cell phone without actually having the phone in possession. That is right. The person doing the spying just needs to know your Apple ID or your Google login, and boom, it installs itself on the device. It does pretty much the same stuff as the two previous ones that we discussed. It has a key logger. It grabs text messages. It grabs social media posts and messages. It monitors WhatsApp, grabs browse history, does GPS tracking, and more. Now, in the defense of the creators for all these apps, they all do have applications in everyday life to help parents monitor their children's activity, keep track of elderly parents, and other similar situations. But much like any good tool out there, they can be used in nefarious ways just as easily. So what can you do to protect yourself from these or any one of the other hundreds, yes, hundreds of other apps that can spy on you, track you, and steal your personal information? Well, if I thought I had been hacked or I had tracking software or spy apps on my phone, I might try taking these measures. A warning and a disclaimer here, folks. These steps will cause you to lose all data on your device, and you cannot hold me responsible for data loss. First, I would go through and look at all of the installed apps on my phone and uninstall any that I do not recognize. Now, keep in mind, most of these spy apps state they are undetectable. That means they most likely will not even show up in the installed apps list. Second, I would do a factory reset of my phone. Now, every phone is different, so I would have to go and I would have to look up the procedure for my phone online. And doing a factory reset will erase all of the phone's information, so I would lose everything that I had. Third, after the reset, I would set up a brand new Google or Apple ID account and not tie it to any of my old email accounts in any way. The biggest way people can put spy apps on a phone is if they know your login information. So using a new phone with a new password not used on anything else, not similar to anything else, can go a long ways in protecting that device. If that did not feel like it was enough, I would buy a new phone with a carrier I never used before and set up a new Google or iPhone account. And if I were more worried about even doing that, I would get a non-smartphone like the old flip phone or get a de-Google Android phone. But that's a topic for another video.